Hello everyone and welcome back to Humble Acres. If this is your first time here, I do a lot of different things on this channel. I do a lot of maintenance and stuff on my acreage. We do some farming, which is basically just baling hay. But we do a lot of building maintenance. I like working on cars as well. There's just a lot of different things, and this is just all stuff that I enjoy doing. Whether or not I'm on camera or not, this is what I'd be doing. So I figured I would just video it all and share it with everyone. This video is also a update video of what I want to do for this year and where everything's at this moment in time. So let's get started with what projects we need to do this year, or what I hope to be able to do this year anyway. This garage, we moved from my neighbor's house and I never got around to painting it. So ideally I'd like to paint it, and then also I would also like to get it sealed because there's a big air gaps right in the top there, and it tends to get a lot of wasps in there. Last year there were so many nests in there, it was kind of scary just to open the door. So hopefully this year I can get that sealed up, but we'll see about that. But it has been working very well. The only problem is it's a little high on this side and the door tends to get frozen shut like it is now, so I can't get my tractor out unless I fix that, but the other side's fine. One of the big changes for this year is going to be this. This is my John Deere 4-row planter. So I actually just picked this up at the end of last fall, basically, kind of. It was, I don't remember when I did, but it is a 495A. I know nothing about it other than it was working, I guess. So this is going to be a new venture this year, but my goal is I want to plant sweet corn with it. So we're going to try to do that. I don't know how it's going to work. We're going to need to plow up some land and then get this going. I need to get it put back together because we had to take it apart a little bit to put on my trailer because it was just too wide. And then I need to buy a manual for it and go all through it because it obviously needs some work and stuff to get ready. So hopefully it works. Cross our fingers. I think I only paid like $300 for it, so I think that was a pretty good deal. I've been looking for one for years now, and around here these smaller planters just go for a lot of money. So I was very lucky to find this one for $300. So hopefully it works. We'll see. The hen house here is probably in the best shape of all the buildings right now, other than my house. But yeah, we just painted this last year and we cleaned up a bunch around here, got rid of a lot of the trees. The roof needs a little bit of work, especially at this end. I never got around to fixing that, of course. And yeah, it's doing pretty good. I mean, this is a very solid building still, so yeah, we need to work on the roof a little bit. There's a couple spots that just mainly on that end, and then hopefully we probably should get back up there and do some new nails or put some sealant on the nails and stuff just to make sure, because last year I had one of these panels actually get ripped up from the wind. So I did get up there and re-nail that down, but it's doing all right now. It's a good building. Nice concrete floor in there too, which is a huge bonus. Probably not going to do a whole bunch with this building other than possibly trying to get electric over here, because that would be really nice to be able to have some power in there. And I do want to get new not doors. I do want to get new windows for it. I can just purchase those. They make a vinyl frame glass window for them, but right now they're like $50 a piece. So I keep putting it off. The first time I looked at them, they were $25 a piece, and then after all the crazy inflation, now they're $50 a piece. So just keep putting it off, and they just keep going up in price. So awesome. All right, on to the next thing. All right, my poor barn. So this has been in several different videos. This barn first floor collapsed, like most of you probably know. And this is basically the hay loft is sitting on the ground now. And the foundation of it is actually, so this wall used to be right here. That's how much it fell over. So I basically have been using this just to get scrap wood out of here, and I tore all the metal off of this side as well. And the metal is still all on the other side. We can go look there. So yeah, you can see that door, the hayloft door, is actually laying on the inside too. So you can see all the metal is still on this side of the building, but it would be pretty tricky to get up there and tear that off because this side is so warped. It'd be, I mean, a lot of those sheets are still in really good shape, but it'd be interesting. And you can see how it fell over onto these trees and knocked the trees over, but then the trees started growing back. So yeah, pretty interesting. And then there's a bunch of, I think my wife's grandfather raised mink, I guess, and that's what these all are, is mink cages. So yeah, basically just scrap those. I don't think there's any use for those. But yeah, that's this building. We really just need to get it torn down because it's more of just a liability than anything. Something I found out though is some of the wood inside has carpenter ants and or termites in it. So I can't really use or sell the wood. So I got some wood out of here that I used on my shelf in my office. There's a whole video on that. And the wood had, like I said, either carpenter ants or termites in it, and I had to rip all that wood off that shelf and throw it outside. So I no longer have that shelf wood. My shelf is just basically a frame sitting inside right now until I figure out what I'm gonna do for wood. But it's kind of a shame that I did all that work with that wood and then it just yeah, there were little mounds of sawdust on the planks in my office, and I wasn't gonna live with that. So yeah, so you can see in here I tore out all of the floor beams on this side. We still have that side left, but I'm thinking the ones that were over here were the ones that were bad because it was way more moisture on this side. Like the ones that I tore off over here, I don't think they had that problem. Because you can even look right here. I don't think these, oh yeah, they do. See those little holes? Those are, I think, carpenter ants or termites, and you can see where all the sawdust is coming down. So yeah, these boards are also bad. So there is no point in trying to save any of those. That's unfortunate. I wonder if these have the same thing. They probably all do, because yep, even these have those little holes in them. And those do as well. So yeah, pretty much can't use any of this wood unless one of you know how to get rid of carpenter ants. All this wood is garbage, so that's a real bummer. This wood up here actually doesn't look like it does have any of those holes. So maybe it's just the stuff that's on the ground. Because yeah, I don't think any of this stuff does. The siding doesn't have it either. So this wood actually might be okay up here. Yeah, none of that has it. Those beams, those look fine as well. So there probably is still some wood that we're going to be able to save out of here, but it's all going to be very difficult to get. You can see that post back there is bent in half, broken in half actually. And there's really just that one which is cracked right on that seam right there. And then these two, and then this one is barely sitting on that baseboard there. So I really think I need to get a tractor or something and wrap a cable around all these poles and just yank them out the side. And hopefully it'll fall over. I know these old buildings are built very strong because they're hard to get down, believe it or not, even when they're in this shape. This barn has been like this for quite some time. I don't know the exact year that it fell over, but it's been quite a while. And yeah, that's just where we're at. Hopefully maybe this year, this was in my update video from last year to get this torn down, and Didn't. I honestly had the thought of burning it down like I did the old farmhouse, but I don't know if I can do that. There's a lot of good wood still in there that's not on the floor, so I don't really want to do that. So we'll see. I think pulling it down would be the best option, because at least then we could salvage the wood a lot safer when it's on the ground. But I would have to cut down at least this tree, all of these trees here, probably this one here. We need to get a lot of the trees cut down around it so it has somewhere to actually fall to. So I don't know, we'll see what happens with that. All right, this is the old machine shed, or the workshop, where my wife's grandfather had his shop, and it needs a little bit of work. It's honestly not terrible. The floor is dirt in here, which is a big problem because the animals just dig holes everywhere in here. You see there's a hole there, they dug a hole there, there's a hole there, there's a hole there. None of those were here last fall, so we got a little bit of extra hay sitting in here. But yeah, it'd be nice to pour concrete in here, honestly, because that'd make this building so much more usable. But I think the only thing we really need to do with this building is this wall here and this wall here don't have metal on the outside. So I would like to use some of my metal that I have sitting here. This is all the metal that I tore off. There's a big hole over there. They pulled the dirt on top of the metal. It's so annoying, but this is all the metal I tore off the roof of the barn. So I was going to use that to put on the walls here, so then this building will be a lot more sound. This wall over here is getting pretty bad, and it's, yeah, this base plate is actually getting pretty rotten, and doesn't help that it has that crack and shift in the foundation. So it'd be nice to dig all of this dirt back here and pull this back and then brace it there somehow. That would probably be a good thing to do, but we need to get this wall stable because it's gonna fall down if I don't do something. Then we have the good old John Deere. Ah! There's a hole there. So we have the good old John Deere here. There was a video of me putting this away for winter prep or whatever. I forget what the video is called, but I put this in here and I was having some issues with the transmission where half of the gears basically just locked up the whole drivetrain. So this spring we might actually need to pull this back into the garage and take this plate off, and I think there's a way to get into the transmission from the top. I think I'm gonna need to look at my manual, but I think at the very least we need to open this up and see what's going on in there. If it's just wear or if there's actually like something broke in there, we need to figure it out, because I don't want to break it more than it is. And honestly, it'd be fun to use this when we are planting and plowing and stuff. So that would be my goal, but if it's broke and it's gonna need a lot of work, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do that or not. So cross our fingers that it's something easy to fix, or maybe water just got in there and froze it. I don't know. I highly doubt that was the case because it had not gotten very cold yet. So I think it is actually something in the transmission having an issue, but we will find out. So hopefully it's not that terrible, but we will probably have to look at that this spring. We have this FJ, which this is the one I was going to sell, and I never got any takers on it because I think everyone was scared of the rusted frame, which is fine. It's understandable. So I think what I'm going to do, I have another frame that is literally like brand new. So I think my goal with this one is probably swap the frames and then sell it. So I'm probably not going to be getting rid of this one for a while because it's going to be another restoration after I get done with the other one that I'm currently working on. So once I get done with that one, then I'll probably start on this one, and I have a lot of restorations to do apparently now. So that's the goal there. That's not going to happen this year either, just to let you know. I'm going to be working on the other one that's still in the garage for a while. This grain bin would actually be nice to get rid of because the bottom of it is completely rusted out, so it's not any good anyway. There's a lot of people that like make them into like little gazebos or something, which it would be good for that. So maybe I'll try to sell it and have somebody come and take it away for that. I don't know, but to me it just looks like scrap metal. My nice tire pile keeps getting bigger and bigger, which maybe I'll move them somewhere. Actually, I might use these for my racetrack when I get that built. That'd be fun. So this building is going to be our big project this year. My goal right now is to turn this into my workshop. It's gonna take some effort and some time, and yeah, it's gonna be a lot of work. And as you can see, it is leaning on this end more than the other, but it is leaning and we need to straighten that back out. And we're basically gonna gut the whole inside of it, and we're gonna panel up these walls. Both of the end walls are gonna be complete walls, and then I'm gonna put 2 big doors in this side and then a man door over there. I actually do have a rendering on my computer of what it will hopefully look like when it's done, so I'll put that in right now. That is what I want it to look like, and it will be a really nice shop. It's 32 foot by 25 feet, so it's actually very decent size and should have plenty of space for everything I want to do, and plenty of height as well, so I can have a legitimate lift in there. But yeah, we're gonna have to rip all this out, and all of the overhead grain bin is gonna have to get tore out. It's gonna be a lot of work, but I have a really good idea of what I actually need to do to get this done, and a somewhat safe way to do it. So the big thing is making it straight again, and that's gonna be, I don't know how hard that's gonna be, but that is gonna be the biggest thing to start with, pulling it back straight. And once I get it straight again, then I can just put some plywood on the sides here and make it so it can't wobble back and forth anymore, and then it'll be good. But we're gonna put metal siding all over the outside of it. So the roof over here is really good still. That's actually in great shape, so we could probably reuse that. I actually have a video from 2 years ago where I started working on this side of the roof because it's gone. You can see the metal has blown off and there's a huge hole over there. So yeah, 2 years ago I started a video. It was before I got my Kubota tractor, where I was gonna repair that roof, and then I got my tractor and I never finished. I can actually show you in here. I have a lot of my lumber in here. And yeah, the middle of this floor is just dirt, so that will have to be leveled out and made concrete, just like the ends are. But you can see here, kind of, if we block the sun a little, how the roof is all bad. I still have my ladder up there from where I was working, but this all needs to be done. And all this will be gutted out of here. Basically, it's gonna be completely open up to the top plate of these walls all the way around. So that top plate is going to be where it actually is, where the roof of the interior will be. So all of this will get ripped out, which these are all nice boards in here. They're not very long is the only bad part, but they're probably like 2x12s, I would assume. But that's going to be the big project for this year. I'm really looking forward to that, because it's going to be nice to have a whole separate shop where I can have a lot more room to work. So it'll be fun to do that. I also have my grandparents' windmill here that we took down in a video. I still haven't figured out a good spot to put it. I keep changing my mind of where I want it, but I think I might be putting it down next to the corn crib, the new shop. I think it would look nice down there. I don't know if it would get a whole lot of wind, but I think it would look nice there anyway. It would be nice to put it up here because we actually get a little bit more wind here, but I don't know. Like I said, I still haven't decided, so we'll see. We are up in the field where we're clearing all the trees. We have a lot of burning we're gonna have to do. We need to get on this as soon as we can get out here with the tractor, because it's very muddy right now, so definitely can't drive anything out here right now. But we need to get all these tree piles burned up. And then we also need to work on ripping out the rest of these trees, which is going to be quite the chore. And holy cow, this is muddy. Doesn't help that there's not any grass planted here, so that may also be a nice thing to do, is come out here in the spring and throw a bunch of grass seed down, because this is going to be really bad. I mean, they're all very small, but from my experience, the small ones are the harder ones to get out, so we'll have to see how that goes. Hopefully we can, or at least get a large majority of it done. But see, there's a little trail through here. Just walk through here. I must have mowed this at some point. But these bushes come out really easily, which is nice. But a lot of these trees are just a huge pain to get out. But I don't know, it's pretty thin over here at least. This is probably the thinnest part. But the trees on that end are way harder, so that's going to be way more of a challenge. So something that has been on my mind for a while that I don't know if I've even, well, I've kind of hinted at something going on, but my wife's grandfather passed away last November. So that's kind of what we've been dealing with right now. He was the owner of this property before us, and he still owned quite a bit of farmland around our house here, and my wife is going to actually inherit a portion of that. But the problem we've been having right now is we keep going back and forth on whether we should actually keep the land or not. So we could have this whole field right here be ours, and basically everything on this side of the river would be ours. So if you come out here, pretty much everything you see here would be ours, which would be amazing. If we did that, we would have a total of almost 40 acres, which is a lot of land, honestly. But if we don't take that and just sell it, we could also be debt free. So it's very hard for me and for her, and we just don't really know what's best. I mean, the rent we could get off of renting that field is not very much. It's like $2,500 a year. That's not very much compared to the value of the land. So yeah, it's a very tough decision. And I also, my whole goal for our property was to bring it back to how it looked when her grandfather was farming it. And I really would love to have it look like that again. We actually recently found some old photos of the property, so maybe I'll put some of those in here. But they were pretty cool, and I don't know. I feel like if we don't get the land now, we probably will never be able to have that opportunity again. I don't know. That's kind of been weighing on our minds a lot lately, because it's just, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to do. So it's hard to be greedy and say, like, I want that land, like we want that land or whatever, because we already have 18 acres. It's a lot of land already. For, like, most people don't have anywhere near that amount of land, especially by where we live. Land is pretty high value. So yeah, I don't know. It's a tough call. And the land we have currently is more than I'll ever need, honestly. Like, having this land, it would be cool, but it's not a necessity. It would just be nice to have as much as we could get. But I don't know what we're gonna do, and we probably won't know for a little while, so keep you updated on what's gonna happen there. But that's pretty much everything that we have going on right now for this year. I think that's plenty. Just trying to figure out how to plant sweet corn and harvest that. That's good. Well, harvesting is probably easy, but planting it, is going to be a totally new venture that I've never done before. So I'm actually looking forward to that. It'll be interesting. Hopefully the planner works. But tearing this barn down and fixing this one, those are going to be the biggest endeavors this year. So hopefully everything goes to plan. It's hard to say what's going to happen with that, but I don't know. I hope you guys are looking forward to all this. I don't make very much money off this YouTube channel. There was 1 month last year where I made minimum wage. So it's not very profitable, and it's a lot of work to put all these videos together. So if you guys enjoy this or are looking forward to some of these projects, consider subscribing. That definitely helps the channel to grow. And like and comment. Commenting on videos actually does a whole bunch. So let me know what you think. Hope you look forward to this year as much as I do. And there will probably be other projects that come up as well, so keep that in mind. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next video.